PlayStation is one of the most widely beloved console brands ever, and the PS4 only strengthened it further. And then, just when you thought that things couldn't get any better, Sony went and released the PS4 Pro that could run games in 4K and near 4K resolutions. But while in the PS2 era you pretty much only had the console, the game, and the controller, Sony is now releasing all sorts of accessories that you can use to enhance your gaming experience or just to make everything about it more convenient. So in today's video, we'll be taking a look at the best PS4 Pro accessories that money can buy. Just a quick disclaimer, not all of these were released exclusively for the PS4 Pro. Some even date back to the PS3 era, but what's important is that they're compatible with the Pro. So without any further ado, let's get this buyer's guide started. Just because of the sheer number of accessories that we'll be covering, we've divided this list into 4 subsections. The first of these will be all about the best controller charging stations. Like all the entries on this list, the charging stations are not a necessity, but they're a great quality of life product that you're bound to appreciate for the added convenience. After all, not only will they allow you to charge more than one controller at a time, but also all you have to do is just pop them into the charging station, no tangled cables involved. So let's unveil the first of our 3 picks. We'll start with the obvious choice, the official Sony DualShock 4 charging station manufactured by Sony themselves. And it really is everything you'd expect an official Sony product to be. Visually, it blends seamlessly with the PS4. It uses an AC adapter so as not to hog up your console's USB ports, and the magnetized extension ports can charge 2 controllers at once. If the price isn't an issue, and it is on the pricey side, then this charging station is absolutely flawless. The next entry is also made by Sony. However, it's more of a 2-in-1 charging station. It was made as a charging station for the Move controllers, but Sony made sure to make it compatible with the DualShock 4 controllers as well, with the help of adapters. The only downside to this is that the DualShock 4 controllers don't really feel as stable on them as they do on other stations. So unless you also have a set of Move controllers, this charging station is less than ideal. But if you do, it's the perfect pick. And finally, the last entry in this subsection is the PowerA DualShock 4 charging station. As you can see, this one's not made by Sony, but don't let that discourage you. The PowerA station is an officially licensed and branded product. After all, they are an established manufacturer of console peripherals. It's quite unique visually, and we'll let you decide whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, but functionally it's all there, and it uses extension ports to charge the controllers just like the first entry. The main selling point here is the price. It's definitely the most affordable entry among these 3, but there's always a trade-off to this. In this case, the build quality is a bit flimsy, and fitting the controllers onto the charging station can be a hassle. But these are fairly insignificant drawbacks if you're looking for a cheap but reliable charging station. Of course, we can't talk about PS4 accessories, or any PlayStation accessories for that matter, without mentioning controllers. Not everybody's aware that there are other controllers that are fully compatible with the console other than Sony's own DualShock 4. So in this subsection, we'll be taking a look at 2 third-party controllers and 2 very neat controller accessories. As always, we'll start with the home team's product. The DualShock version 2, generally referred to as DualShock 4, is the new and improved version of the original DualShock 4. It was released alongside the PS4 Slim, and it doesn't add any new features, but instead fixes some of the problems that the original had. Most notably, there's the new light strip on the touchpad, more durable thumbsticks, and just the overall better build quality. Now, in order to keep this video from being too long, we won't talk much about the features of the DualShock 4. If you're not familiar with it, we suggest checking out our video comparing DualShock 4 and the Xbox One controller, where we really go in depth on everything. You can find the link to that in the description below. And now for something completely different. We have Razer's very own controller for the PS4, the Raiju. It's about as awesome as it sounds. It definitely looks like a Razer product, and it introduces 4 additional programmable buttons on the back. plus a control panel on the front. Obviously, it was designed to look more like an Xbox controller. So if you have a PS4 but prefer the Xbox controller's shape and ergonomics, here's a good compromise. Just be aware that it has the Razer signature detriment as well, which would be the exorbitant price. It costs roughly as much as 3 DualShock 4 controllers put together. What doesn't help the matter is that there is no wireless connectivity, which is quite ludicrous at this price point. True, some gamers prefer the lower latency that comes with a wired connection, but there's no need to point out just how much more convenient having Bluetooth would be. Next up, we have the Hori PlayStation 4 mini wired gamepad. This one follows a different design philosophy. Instead of trying to pack as many new features as they could into the controller, the folk at Hori opted to make a different kind of product. One that's much smaller and more affordable, but still very reliable. Not to mention that the nostalgia-provoking design is always a plus. So while there isn't that much to say about the features of this controller, we do have to praise it for the quality build and the very responsive controls. And of course, this one is also officially licensed by Sony. The catch is that because it doesn't have all the buttons that a DualShock 4 does, it won't be compatible with every game, so keep that in mind. Now we'll be moving on from the controllers themselves and into the realm of controller accessories. If you want your controller to last, then getting some protective accessories is definitely a wise investment. This is where the CHINFAI protective cover comes in. Like most products of this type, it was made of silicone and fits the DualShock 4 like a glove. As a plus, it also ships with 4 pairs of textured thumb grips. In case that you don't care about the protective cover and are more concerned about the thumbsticks wearing down, or perhaps you just want some extra grip, then the KKONE silicone thumb grips might be a good choice. They'll fit all types of mainstream controllers, and the package includes 4 pairs of textured thumb grips with different patterns. They may not be insanely durable, but seeing as they come in 8-piece packs and at the price that they do, this is hardly an issue. One of the best things about the PlayStation 4 is the fact that it's compatible with VR. In fact, it's the first and only VR-capable console so far. But while every version of the PS4 supports virtual reality, it's the PS4 Pro that can get the most out of it. So in this next subsection, we'll be looking at the VR headset itself, the controllers that can be used with it, and some other related products as well. The PlayStation VR headset truly is unlike any other. It's the most user-friendly VR headset currently available. It looks completely unique and everything about it is highly functional. It boasts a Full HD OLED display that supports 90Hz and 120Hz refresh rates. It comes with a processing unit of its own, and those neat blue LED lights aren't there just to look cool. They're actually used for motion detection as they're tracked by the PS camera. Now, the PSVR is not officially supported on the PC, but that's not really a downside in the context of this video. So the only bad thing about it is that it doesn't ship with any of the additional accessories, making it a lot less cost-effective than it seems at first glance if you're looking for a full VR experience. The PlayStation Move controllers are the foundation of many PlayStation VR games, although the controllers themselves are older than the PSVR, dating back to 2010 and the PS3 era. But don't think for a second that they're outdated. The design, the details, and the build quality are all spot on, just what you'd expect from Sony. And the motion controls do not disappoint either. Not only do they have a built-in gyroscope, but like with the headset, the PS3 camera tracks the orbs on the top of the controller. So while they are good controllers in their own right, keep in mind that they don't ship with the PS camera or vice versa. So both of these products need to be bought separately. Just because Sony already has a last-gen product that they could make compatible with the PSVR doesn't mean that they didn't make anything new. If you want something a bit more current-gen, then the aim controllers may just be the thing for you. While it does borrow some aspects of the Move controllers, it's not only visually different. The aim controller has all the inputs that the DualShock 4 has, meaning that you can use it even with non-VR games. Of course, the sensor camera-based aiming will only work with certain games, and sadly, not many games support it fully. Because of that, the aim controller ends up feeling more like a gimmick than a good all-around controller, though it sure is fun to use with the games that support it. Now, if you're already investing in an expensive piece of tech like the PSVR with all its accessories, then you'll definitely want to make sure that you can keep it safe and transport it without any hassle if you move around a lot. This is where the RDS Industries VR carrying case comes into play. It was officially licensed by Sony, so you know that the build and the quality are both up to snuff. On the outside, it looks just like a regular bag with a carry handle. It is fairly inconspicuous and has more than ample space for the headset and the related accessories inside. All the while, the padding ensures that no harm will come to the expensive piece of tech that is the PSVR headset. Now, if only it had room for the PS camera in there, we'd have no gripes with it whatsoever. If you don't plan on transporting the VR headset but still want to keep it safe or just show it off, then we highly suggest the PSVR Showcase by Collective Minds. It may sound just like a pointless vanity product at first, but it's actually so much more. This product wasn't just made to hold all of these accessories, as it doubles as a charging station. It can charge 2 DualShock 4 controllers and 2 Move controllers at the same time, as well as any wireless headset that supports USB charging. On the downside, this isn't an officially licensed Sony product. Although the build quality, the matte black exterior, and the blue LED lights sure do make it look like it is. And now for the final subsection, we have a few more PS4 Pro accessories that every user should at least know of. The first item here is the Sony PlayStation camera. Now, we've already talked a lot about this product in this video, but here's the official rundown. The PlayStation camera is absolutely crucial in order to run some VR titles properly, but it's also a great camera for streaming. It uses 2 lenses to make depth perception possible, and it even supports facial recognition and voice command features. But just like the aim controller, only a few titles truly utilize it to its full potential. And when you couple this with the fact that it can't be used as a webcam on the PC or a Mac, its value ends up being a bit dubious. Moving on, we have a vertical stand for the PS4 Pro. In our eyes, the official stand is the wisest choice if you want your console standing upright. The stand is solid, transparent, and it comes with 2 separate platforms for the Slim and the Pro versions of the console. Both consoles are very stable on this stand, and you can be sure that there won't be any airflow obstruction or overheating to worry about. The glossy plastic surface is a real scratch and dust magnet though. Not that this is too big of an issue with this particular product. And last but not least, we have the official Sony PlayStation Gold wireless headset. The Platinum headset may be more popular, but the Gold is definitely the way to go if you're looking for something more affordable. The new Gold headset, not to be confused with the old black and blue one, is all black and generally feels more durable than its predecessor. It supports 7.1 virtual surround on the PS4 and the PS3, and while it doesn't officially support this feature on the PC, it can be used with virtual surround software such as Windows Sonic, Dolby Atmos, or Razer Synapse. And there you have it, the best accessories for the PS4 Pro. Normally, what we do now is decide on our best picks, but since we're dealing with a number of different products here, there's little point in picking favorites. We hope that we've managed to introduce you to some new products that you might find useful. Leave a comment if this is the case. Like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and as always, we'll see you next time on Gaming Scan.